Greetings, welcome to the Tarot Card of the Now. In this video, I'm using the Sacred Bridges tarot deck, and I'm going to pick one card, and it's going to give us a little message, a little insight for the now whenever you felt like tuning into this video. So, let's see what the card and message is. We have the Inverted Apprentice of Waters. Now, the Apprentice of Waters is still finding their way. The Apprentice of Waters has totally dived in, totally submersed themselves in whatever they have a passion or desire for. It's like jumping in feet first, or just jumping into it, just diving in. This card is really showing just kind of this impulsive kind of thing, and it's having to deal with desire and passion and so forth. It's just kind of like going for it because you just really want it, or because you just were kind of driven there, but driven by emotions. It could be more on the bad side, the emotional side that is perceived as emotions we don't want, right? Or it could be more on the higher side of emotions, the ones we think are good. But that's all a matter of perspective. It's just that following emotions type of thing, following your heart, and these kinds of things, or just kind of doing it because you just feel that kind of rush, that emotional rush. And the lesson here is that sometimes that can lead to not so great decisions. It's kind of like deciding to do something, or just kind of going for something without really giving it any thought, any contemplation, just kind of doing it. At this time, it could be the repercussions of this, or just a reminder to have a little bit of that caution right now, to not just go for things because you really just feel like it, just because you really just, I just gotta follow my heart, leaving your brain behind, right? That kind of idea of just letting that heart take over. It's good a lot of times to have that desire, that passion. You definitely can use your passion to drive you forward, but don't let the passion be the only one in the driver's seat, is basically the idea here. It has just a lot of this energy of, yeah, just jumping in and doing it without any thought. So it would be advisable at this time to, like I said, not just let that passion, desire, or that flow of emotions. Like I said, it could be on more of like the frustrated side, like you've ever made a decision, okay, whatever, because you're just frustrated. It can also be something like that. It's just that idea of just being driven by emotions only without any contemplation or anything like that. It's that very young person who's just kind of like, let's just do it because it seems like fun, or just do it because you just don't even want to think about it. You don't want to think it through or anything, you just want to go, right? It's kind of that idea. And just the message as well, like I said, is to use a little bit of caution, a little bit of sense in there. Don't just jump feet first. It doesn't mean maybe you shouldn't do it, but to be mindful or conscious of just doing it, of just going with your passion and not relying on any kind of logic, not trying to contemplate or think about it a little bit. just kind of a warning almost. It's kind of a warning today. I hate to say warning, but warnings are really good because they can be helpful in your day if you feel a lot of a rush of emotions. It's good to be conscious of that, so you're not just jumping in feet first into this pond and lo and behold it's full of leeches. So it's good to have a second to think it over, to be aware that maybe the reason you keep going in this cycle is because you keep just going with those emotions, no matter what the emotions could be. They could, like I said, be more of the acceptable emotions, or it could be the ones a lot of people frown upon. All emotions are valid, but that's kind of our perception, right? It could be frustration, or it could just be a good passion or a love or whatever. I just want to go with it, right? My heart says yes, but maybe you should take a step back before you just dive in, is kind of the idea. Look before you leap, basically, is the message here. The thing to keep in mind right now, or to consider right now, if you've been really desiring or lusting or whatever over something. I don't mean lusting like over a person. I don't mean necessarily physically lusting, but we lust over other things. We lust over knowledge. We lust over that piece of cake. We lust over that kind of idea that you really just really want it, and it's a pure emotional want and emotional drive. So that's the thing to keep in mind right now. What this card is talking about is to just look before you leap into that water. Don't let the emotional currents take you away. Have a little bit of control, a little bit of mindfulness of what you are experiencing, and not just being taken away by these emotional currents, because they can be very strong at this time. So, a little bit of message today about being a little careful. It's not that your emotions are bad or that you shouldn't pursue these passions, but to be careful on your journey, be mindful on your journey, and have that brain as well as that heart in there. So if you like this video, if it's really helped you in your current situation, if it really spoke to you, give me a like, comment, share with others. That way they can get this message when they need it, so we can spread it around and help the universe use those algorithms to get this message out there to all who need it. So with that, blessed be.